What is going on, everybody? This is Sam Gustin, and in this video I am going to show you why I believe bi-weekly lawn mowing services is a million times better than weekly lawn mowing services. This is a simple hack you can do in your lawn care business to increase your revenue while not even having to increase your effort. Simply make more money without doing any extra work. Let's get into it.
One, two, three, four.
Without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So to film this video, it is important that we have a few assumptions so that we can all be on the same page in terms of getting the right numbers. So for this example, let's assume that this is for a solo operator business and they are only working 4 days out of the work week. The benefit of working 4 days out of the work week is you are reserving 1 day for a rain day makeup. And if there's not a rain day makeup, you can move work up for project works. That's what we do for our business, in which we have 2 locations. It's been a game changer and an unlock, but that's a video for a different time. So let's assume that this solo operator is a 4-day work week. For a weekly lawn mowing, he or she is able to complete 12.5 visits per day at $40 per cut. Now, what that brings us to is that brings us to a weekly revenue of $2,000 and a monthly revenue of $8,000. Since this solo operator can complete 12.5 visits for a weekly route, that would assume that he or she has 50 customers for their lawn care business. And the cost for the customer's lawn care services per month is $160. This is going to be a quick video, so I'm going to zoom through it. I hope you guys can follow along. Now let's go to a few assumptions. So typically what we see is a company that offers weekly and biweekly services, they increase their biweekly rate by 50%. Also, we are seeing that there is a decrease in production rate when you go from weekly to biweekly. The reason for this is if you have a customer who has a weekly lawn mowing route, that means that their lawn is consistently going to be in a maintained state. Now, once you go to a biweekly frequency, that means that you are only going to visit that property once every 2 weeks. That leaves the grass quite a bit of time for it to get a little bit overgrown. Now, what that does is that means that they have to spend a little bit longer time on the property. And that's what I mean by there's typically a 25% decrease in production rate. The other way to look at that is if you're going from biweekly to weekly, you would see a 25% increase in capacity because now you have about 25% more of your time that can be filled with work. This is going to make sense when I scroll down to this biweekly lawn mowing calendar. Due to that 25% decrease in production rate, we are going to see that this solo operator can only maintain 10 visits per day. And due to that 50% increase or markup in the lawn mowing rate, they are charging $60 per cut. Same thing applies, 4-day work week, saving that Fridays for rain days or project works. We see that this increases our weekly revenue to $2,400 and it increases our monthly revenue to $9,600. Here's the kicker. With weekly customers, this solo operator only needed to get 50 customers to fill their schedule. Now the solo operator needs to get 80 customers to fill their schedule. This is the con from going from only offering weekly services to only offering biweekly services, is you need to gain more customers to fill your schedule. Here is the beautiful part of this solution, is once you fill your schedule, you make more revenue. So you either have a full work schedule with weekly customers or a full work schedule with biweekly customers. It will take you slightly longer to get a full work schedule of biweekly customers, but once you do, you will be making more revenue. Here's another beautiful part, is the cost to the customer for lawn care service decreases to $120 per month. This leads to an easier sale, and this leads me to my point of the benefits of choosing biweekly lawn mowing compared to weekly lawn mowing. So it is an easier sale to the customer. Where we're located in Central Texas. We don't necessarily need to offer weekly services. We're serving over 500 customers and maybe 10 of them really could benefit from a weekly service. But we only offer bi-weekly services. We offer weekly as well if they need it. Our bread and butter is bi-weekly. So it's an easier sale to the customer because you're saying, hey, Mrs. Jones, instead of paying $160 a month for weekly service, we'll only bother you 2 times a month, and it'll save you some money. It'll save you about $40 a month. It's an easier sale to the customer, which is going to help you fill that schedule faster. It's going to give you a 20% increase in your revenue and 0% increase in your effort. If I could come to you and I could say, hey, lawn care business owner, here is a solution to get you 20% more money with 0% extra work. Would you take that? Well, here you go. Here's your solution. The reason why it's a 20% increase in revenue is you're going from $8,000 per month to $9,600 per month. And the reason why it's 0% increase in effort is because you are still staying on the mower, for lack of better words, the same amount of time. The only reason that the weekly has 12.5 visits compared to the 10 visits with biweekly is because there's 25% more capacity in that schedule. What that ultimately leads to, which goes to my next point, is there's more drive time with weekly services because you have more customers to service. Whereas bi-weekly, you're still only on the mower for the same amount of time as weekly, but you have less drive time because you're doing less visits per day, per week, per month. You're also going to stand apart from your competitors because a lot of the people and a lot of the businesses in this sector want to offer weekly services. It makes sense to offer weekly services to most people because you don't want to have to worry about overgrown lawns. You want to be able to pull up to a property and just get in your truck, get out of your truck, service the property, pack everything back up. It's easy to do that. But they don't take into full consideration that bi-weekly services, yes, it leads to a little bit longer amount of time on the property for that one property, but you don't have to drive as much. I don't really understand why in markets such as ours, Central Texas, why people offer weekly services exclusively. You are leaving money on the table. You're leaving money on the table. So this is why I firmly believe that bi-weekly lawn mowing services is much better and highly recommended compared to weekly lawn mowing services. I do have to throw in the caveat that this is specific to those markets that can offer bi-weekly services. If the lawn is going to be extremely overgrown, if you're waiting 2 weeks, this advice might not apply to you. But you could tweak numbers, you could tweak different factors to make this work for you, and I think any market. So if you have any questions at all, please feel free to flood the comments, and please feel free to email me if you'd like to hop on a call for a coaching call. I appreciate all the support. Please subscribe. Please hit the bell so that you can be notified of any future videos, and I look to posting another one here soon. Thank you.